The single biggest financial risk that a woman can take is not in the stock market. It's not in real estate. The single biggest financial risk a woman can take, and this is going to shock you, is becoming a mother. That's right. I believe that financial dependence is the most dangerous place that a woman can live. I'm talking to the single mothers. I believe that motherhood should be a source of joy, not a source of poverty. The man cannot be the plan. 40% of single women, plus or minus, in this country live at or near the poverty level. Can you believe that? I mean, that means that 40% of single mothers in this country live on $40,000 a year or less for 2 kids and the mother. $40,000 a year. That is the at or near the poverty level standard. The greatest gift that God gives to women is also the thing that gives them the greatest financial risk in our country. Women find themselves either being dependent on men in a marriage, because so many women want to take off work and spend that time with their babies at home, and they have career breaks, and they have job skills that wane because they want to stay with their babies. They have to make choices, and those choices are beautiful and wonderful choices, and they make them lovingly, but they have those choices, they have consequences to their overall financial health. Because they make those choices, they're not in the workforce earning Social Security income for when they are in retirement age. They're not continuing their job skills and continuing to learn technology skills right now at a time when technology is growing at a breakneck pace. They are staying at home and dependent on their husbands or on the men in their lives who are out earning a living and paying the bills. And then so many women that I see in my profession unfortunately find themselves with men who trade them in on some other woman. And then these women who have been staying at home with their children suddenly find themselves without the men that they have been dependent on. Some women don't have men. They find themselves having children as single mothers without a man to depend on. And maybe the men pay child support, or maybe they don't. Maybe the men help and support, or maybe they don't, but they're still single mothers. And I get it. There's single fathers out there too. I'm not talking to them right now. I'm talking to the single mothers. Ladies, the man cannot be the financial plan. The man cannot be the plan. If you are going to be a stay-at-home mom, that is a beautiful and wonderful thing, but in your marriage, you need to negotiate the money. If you are a mom and a single mom, a man cannot be the plan. If you are in a job working, the male boss cannot be your plan. Even as working women earn 82 cents on the dollar for every $1 that a man earns. And for a woman of color, those statistics are even worse. Simply put, historically, the system has not been built for women. Here are 10 things that women have not been able to do in my lifetime. 1, open a bank account in her own name. Women got that right in the 1970s. 2, get a credit card in your own name. In my lifetime, women got that right in 1974. 3, buy a house with a mortgage in your own name. Any of you women out there that own your own home, that have your own mortgage, understand that in my lifetime, we got the right to do that. 4, open a business without having a man own it with you. We got that right in 1988. Attend Harvard University. Attend an Ivy League school. Practice law or practice medicine. You understand that I, as a lawyer, that women have only been able to do that during my lifetime. Here's a good one. Access birth control. Single women have only had the right to birth control during my lifetime. Get divorced because they wanted to. Having the right to get divorced because you as a woman want a divorce is a right that has come about during my lifetime. Not get fired for being pregnant. The right to not be fired from your job because you're pregnant is a right that has come about during my lifetime. And the 10th one, the right to equally inherit property from your parents is a right that has come about during my lifetime. Historically speaking, in 1974, Congress passed the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, which gave women the right to have credit, to get a mortgage, and to get a business loan without a male cosigner. In 1988, President Reagan, a Republican, passed the Business Ownership Act, which said that women didn't need a male cosigner to get a business loan, so that women had the independent right to own a business. So it's just been in the last 35-ish years that women could even own a business. And in 1972, the U.S. Supreme Court said that single women had a right to birth control. The problem is that women earn less, have career breaks. We put each other's needs, our husbands, our children, our family's needs, above our own. We save less, we invest less, we live longer, and therefore we have to spread our money, less money, over a longer period of time. But I want to tell you, ladies, it's not all bad news. I mean, just because history has been against us, it's not all bad news. There is good news happening to us right now. And the good news is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a game changer for women. Women right now own more than 40% of all businesses in the United States. The number of women-owned businesses grew at double the rate of male-owned businesses. And women of color, you are leading the charge. Women of color are starting more businesses than anybody right now. And here's some more great statistics. Women-owned businesses generate about $2 trillion in revenue in America and employ 9 million people in our country. So in just 35-ish years, since we've had the right to own a business on our own, we've been catching up and creating a whole new trend in our country. So, entrepreneurship isn't just a career choice. I mean, it's an entire liberation strategy for women. Entrepreneurship ensures that women's financial strategy depends not on the success or failure of her marriage, not on the success or failure of the man in her life, not on the success or failure of her boss's whims. But a woman-owned business gives her the ownership of her time, of her choices, and of her future. Here's what I believe. I believe that financial dependence is the most dangerous place that a woman can live. I believe that motherhood should be a source of joy, not a source of poverty. I believe that the man cannot be the plan for women. I believe that entrepreneurship is the most promising path for women to break the cycle of dependency and design their own destiny. And I believe that when women control the purse, they control their own power. You know, this isn't theory. This isn't even DEI. The numbers don't lie here. Women are proving this every single day. History shows us that women were denied the right to credit, they were denied the right to property, they were denied the right to business and most freedoms until just a few decades ago. Even presently, we are shown that motherhood still puts women at the highest risk of poverty. But the future is ours. The future is ours to write, and it will be written with entrepreneurship for women. When a woman controls the purse, she controls her choices, she controls her freedom, and she controls her power. Women listeners, do you have a plan for your financial freedom? Do you have a plan that is yours? Not a plan that is his, not a plan that depends on anybody else. Do you have an income plan that is yours and yours alone? If you do not, start today. Write a plan that is your plan. Because no woman should leave her financial future to anybody else but her own. The man simply cannot be the plan. Please do not ever confuse dependence with security again. You have the power of your purse. You have the power to control your financial destiny. And I believe that power is through entrepreneurship. The man cannot be your plan to your financial security.